Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We have a story here where one woman seems to be living at variance to reality. Liz Lloyd, for it is she, seems to think that while Nicola Sturgeon's image has been damaged, she thinks it's not irretrievably damaged and that Sturgeon will be bouncing back and will be as popular again as once she was. I don't think Liz Lloyd has been paying attention. I don't think Liz Lloyd understands how loathed and hated Sturgeon has become, even amongst previously SNP supporters who have left the party, have derided the party, now that the truth is coming out and they see the damage that this woman has done. And yet, Liz Lloyd sits there and thinks that Sturgeon will somehow rise phoenix-like from the ashes to once again stand as Scotland's mammy and someone that everyone can rally round and admire. It is an absolute cult of Sturgeon that is being tried to be formed. And they're trying to make her like the new Messiah. She died for our sins, and yet she was once more risen to lead Scotland to the new Jerusalem. Is Liz Lloyd completely bonkers? Let's have a look. Liz Lloyd claims that Nicola Sturgeon's shattered reputation will bounce back and bemoans her achievements being written out of history. What achievements? The damage to Scotland, the division of society, the absolute ridicule of the SNP, now seen as a joke, a party filled with the corrupt, the inept and the peds and pervs. And of course the final insult is potentially, should the investigation go that way, potentially the fact that Sturgeon herself may well be charged with the corporate murder of 4,500 people. That's not a reputation from which you bounce back, Liz Lloyd. And of course you are the one who in the COVID inquiry showed that Nicola Sturgeon had lied multiple times. And now you're standing cave over her career, saying, oh look, she's going to come back. She will rise. She will become once again the leader that Scotland needs and that Scotland deserves. Scotland deserves better. The special advisor to the former First Minister was quick to jump on her defence on the anniversary of her shock resignation, and she disputed claims her legacy has damaged Humza Yousaf's start to life in Bute House. Her reputation, to be honest, her reputation was awful before she resigned. It was bad enough with all the things she'd done. But what's come out subsequent to her resignation and the COVID inquiry and all the investigations by the police shows that Sturgeon herself is little more than a psychopathic narcissist whose only interest was to benefit Nicola Sturgeon. Never at any point in her entire political career did she do anything other than help herself. She never helped people. She didn't help the people of Scotland. She certainly didn't help her own constituents. Govan Hill is an absolute shithole, and it's got worse ever since Sturgeon took over. She's not fighting her corner. She's not pushing for more money for Govan Hill. She's not trying to lift the lives of those people out of the gutter. No. The only person whose life has lifted out of the gutter is Nicola Sturgeon's. And so her reputation was already bad. How worse can it get? And now for Liz Lloyd to sit there and say, oh, she'll bounce back, goes to show how absolutely bonkers Liz Lloyd truly is. Anyway, Nicola Sturgeon's former right-hand woman, Liz Lloyd, was quick to leap to her boss's or ex-boss's defence as she insisted that her shattered reputation would bounce back and claimed that her achievements have been written out of history. Her comments came on the first anniversary of the resignation. In the year since her announcement at Bute House, Miss Sturgeon's position as a feared politician has been battered by a number of scandals that she has become embroiled in. And the thing is, she can stand up and make a comment and people just have to go, branch form, COPA, COVID deaths, and all that. That's all they have to do. and whatever she's got no answer to these things because it's the truth. And like so much with the SNP, the truth is absolutely devastating to them. You've got the ongoing police investigation into the SNP, which involved her being arrested, and her mass deletion of COVID pandemic messages, or as we like to call it, destruction of evidence. There's potential purge. Well, not potential. She's perjured herself at the inquiry, so they've got that to look at. And of course, Operation Copa, which is looking at the 4,500 deaths in care homes, for which she and Lloyd, for which she and Jean Freeman may well find themselves on the wrong end of a jail cell. We previously told how she faced calls to resign from her role as an MSP after being described as working only part-time for her constituents in Glasgow Southside. Was surprised she worked even part-time. Labour peer Lord Fuchs claimed that her legacy was one of failure and that she should step back from her job. Miss Lloyd was questioned about the difficulty Humza Yousaf has had since taking over from Miss Sturgeon. Well, from day one, everything's gone wrong. It really was a poisoned chalice. He had nowhere to go. He fought and fought and fought. And the establishment had to get him in, of course, because if anyone other than him got in, the Greens would have walked. I don't think that would have bothered either Ash Regan or Kate Forbes. Indeed, Kate Forbes would have relished firing them. They'd have been packing their bags before she even pulled in, wouldn't she? But anyway, she said he had to deal with the fallout of her reign and many of her unpopular decisions, including the doomed deposit return scheme, gender reforms, and also the Butte House agreement with the Scottish Greens, for which many now in the SNP think should be ended. They're seeing the Greens as toxic. They know that they're going to lose their seats because of this, and because the policies the Greens have put forward have been so unpopular, and it's led to a lot of people leaving the party. And they're seeing, the support ebb and drain away on an almost daily basis. And they know that, as time goes on, their seats are becoming ever more and more vulnerable. Even some of the strong seats are becoming more vulnerable. And so a lot of them actually want the Greens to just sod off. But Humza Yousaf, of course, he doesn't have the balls to do that. Anyway, the legacy includes the delivery, she said, this is what Liz Lloyd said, that her legacy includes the delivery of doubling childcare, includes the building of an investment bank, includes the child payments, which is lifting people out of poverty. Well, it's only right they do something to lift people out of poverty. After all, it was them who put so many in. And now, of course, by raising the alcohol tariff, that's going to put more children into poverty. And by raising taxes, is going to put even more children into poverty. Not much of a legacy, is it, when you're going to increase the poverty of the nation? And so she's trying to spin the good things, but there are no good things, because even what the things she is saying that are good things turned out to be a complete waste of time. The baby boxes, look at me lauding the baby boxes, an expensive waste of time. They did nothing to address the key problem of child poverty, and people like Liz Lloyd cannot see it. God, she's very harsh-faced, isn't she? Very hatchet-faced. You wouldn't want her to be looking after you. That's a stern look of disapproval permanently etched on that woman's face. Anyway, Miss Sturgeon admitted during her farewell tour that her biggest achievement was the baby box, which we just mentioned, but the rest of her policy wins have been tarred by her post-FM career. Everything she's done has been tarred. She is like a reverse Midas. Everything she touches turns to complete shit. Opposition critics have claimed that she's now a totally discredited politician after presiding over years of secrecy and scandal while she was the First Minister. And the thing is, no matter what she says now, she's a liar. You just check everything. Don't believe you. Don't believe you. Lie. You lie. You lie. She could tell you the absolute God gospel truth, and nobody would believe her because she's just a liar on so many other things. Scottish Tory Deputy Leader Megan Gallagher said her reputation and credibility lie in tatters. Both her and her husband were arrested in relation to the murkiness surrounding the SNP's finances, and we've seen from the COVID inquiry that she cynically and shamefully deleted WhatsApps from the pandemic period on an industrial scale, while at the same time her independence obsession remained on her agenda even during an unprecedented health crisis. Megan Gallagher sums her up. Lovely, that's the end of it there. So yeah, Megan Gallagher basically does not like Sturgeon. I do not like Sturgeon. 99.9% of my viewers do not like Sturgeon. In fact, there's probably members of her own family that don't like Sturgeon because of her entirely awful personality, single-mindedness, narcissism, sociopathy, and utter obsession with becoming Queen Nicola I of Scotland. Coming up. I think the years of being in the SNP has finally got to Liz Lloyd. I think the dementia has kicked in. I think she's literally forgotten all that's happened. And she's sitting there in a little world of her own where, you know, the pixies play. I mean, seriously, Toys in the Attic. It's the only explanation for Liz Lloyd and her claim that Sturgeon will return. Sturgeon is no messiah, let me tell you. Anyway, I shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.